boxing truth here. That Kell Brook Kevin Bizier fight wasn't much work for Kell coming off a 10-month layoff going into this fight. And now that's what you call a major showcase at the highest order. I mean, that's what you call easy work for Kell Brook. Just trashed this dude Kevin Bizier, whatever the fuck his name is. Kell Brook showed that he's levels above Bizier. He destroyed him in less than 2 rounds, was not competitive at all, was Bizier's one-dimensional, comes to fight, comes forward, but a lot of holes in his defense. You can go around his guard with hooks and straight right hands through his guard. And that's exactly what Kell did. He was on his back foot, was picking him apart with counters, and Bizier didn't even look like he wanted to be there. I mean, his body language was terrible. He had a stupid look on his face before the bell rang. It just didn't seem like he was coming to win. Didn't seem like he had any demeanor in him. It looked like he was like, what the hell am I doing here fighting this guy? And that's exactly what went down. Kell Brook shows he was levels above. Absolutely destroyed Bizier in less than 2 rounds. What you call a showcase. And Brook did what he had to do. It was a mandatory defense. If he didn't take this fight, he would have lost his title. And now, hopefully, it's on to bigger and better things for Kell Brook. But Eddie Hearn hasn't been able to get the job done. He hasn't been able to get any of the big names to fight him. A lot of people in the UK expressed their opinion that Eddie Hearn is all talk. That he's a bait and switch type of guy. He'll talk a lot of shit, but then you end up about a big fight coming up, and then you end up with Kell Brook, Kevin Bizier, like you just saw. But Eddie Hearn is making some big fights this year. He's put his clients in some significant fights, like with Quigg. Also, Anthony Joshua is fighting Charles Martin. Somebody else, I forgot who. It was someone else in the stable that's in the big fight. I mean, he's putting his guy in tough this year. Anthony Kroll is fighting Barroso, but that is a mandatory defense. That's the reason why that fight is happening. But this was it was what it was. I mean, Kell Brook got less than 2 rounds of work. I mean, the guy can come back and fight next week if he wanted to. I mean, the guy hardly took any shots from Bizier. He was able to step back and counter him and hit him with jab and straight rights and absolutely destroy him. I mean, Kell looked good. He looks like the part. He looks like one of the best welterweights in the world, but he just haven't proven it yet. Very weak resume since he's won the title back in August of 2014. So now the goal for Eddie Hearn and Kell Brook is a big fight, but it just doesn't look like he's going to get it. I mean, he's calling out Golovkin, but he's making a demand that really, if he wants that fight, he's going to have to move up to the full middleweight limit, just like Khan's doing with Canelo at Canelo weight. He's fighting him at the full Canelo weight limit. So if Kell Brook wants a Triple G fight, he might have to do the same. And the names at welterweight, Jesse Vargas, top rank's going to go in a different direction, get a first defense in. Danny Garcia will not go to the UK to fight him. Kell Brook will have to travel, and it's up to Heyman if he even wants that fight. He really doesn't need a Kell Brook fight. He's not a big name in the United States, so it's really they'll go in another direction. Pac Bradley, winner, they have different plans. It's not involving a Kell Brook fight. So Kell Brook is the odd man out. He's a world-class fighter with great skills and ability, and he's destroying these opponents. They're not world beaters or anything, but they're rated contenders. But the IBF needs to do a second look with their ratings. I mean, I appreciate that they follow the rules, even when it's not in the best interest of them, in boxing and boxing fans. Like, they enforced this mandatory, and all you got was a showcase fight in less than 2 rounds on Sky Sports. it seemed like more of the buzz was towards the Eubank Jr. Blackwell fight. It seemed like the UK were more looking forward to that fight instead of Kell Brook's fight because they knew it was a foregone conclusion, and that's exactly the way it went. But the IBF needs to, they need to put some worthy contenders. Like, Kevin Bizier, he earned that shot by beating an untested prospect his last fight. And Kell Brook showed that, there's levels to this game, especially when you challenging for a world title. So the IBF, we look at their ratings in every division. There's always, questionable guys in the ratings. It's like that for every organization, but the IBF, in my opinion, has one of the weakest rating systems in the sport of boxing. So, it should put more worthy contenders at the top of their organization for every division. But spectacular performance by Kell Brook. He's showcasing his power. It seems like the incident with the stabbing attack in Spain hasn't affected him. He's looked good ever since that unfortunate incident he had, whatever went down that night. And he's looking explosive. He's looking very good, looking very fast. And he's going to be a handful for anybody at welterweight. Honestly, I think outside of Manny Pacquiao, he's the best welterweight in the world. I would pick him to beat any welterweight in the world, not named Manny Pacquiao. I mean, I think you got to make him the favorite with Thurman, Jesse Vargas, Danny Garcia. He already beat Sean Porter. If he was to fight Bradley, I think you got to make him the favorite as well. I mean, he just has to get these fights and prove that he's the best, but it's going to be harder said than done. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.